Hi, this is the Classy Movies Review. Today, I would like to take a short detour to review some of the best TV series there are currently on Amazon Prime, in case you have a subscription or are just looking for a Netflix alternative. Now, although this list is compiled from Amazon Prime, I'm sure one of these or two of these could also be there in Netflix. Honestly, with both Amazon or Netflix, there's just too much content out there. It's like an ocean. But surely you would want to know which ones are worth your while, right? So, here are the top 5 TV shows or series which are definitely having some serious stuff crammed up in them. While these 5 are awesome entertainers, totally worth every penny, they could also be in many ways quite informative as well. So, let's dive in. Coming to the first one on the list is Supernatural. This is perhaps one of the most iconic and successful TV shows out there, running a strong 15 years now, which went on air on September 2005 and have already completed 14 seasons and are currently concluding the 15th and final season in 2020. They have about 320 episodes under their belt. Wow, that's gotta be a record in itself. Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles star as Sam and Dean Winchester, or as they're fondly referred to, the Winchester brothers. They are basically hunters, but not in the traditional sense of the term. They do not hunt animals, but they hunt demons, vampires, werewolves, and other freaks of nature or evil things that shouldn't exist. And for this, the law enforcing agencies are always trying to apprehend them, since they consider them as outlaws. On the positive side, they inspire many others by what they do. Crisscrossing across the country in their much-loved antique-looking Impala with a really throaty V8 engine, which has become synonymous with the show. Dean and Sam Winchester hunt freaks and demons with the skills imparted to them by their late father, who dies protecting them from demons, and by the way, whose mother died to one of them. The series isn't just about the hunts alone, but explores on the beautiful relationship between the two brothers through hard and testing times, stark differences in opinions escalating into major fights. But they always do come around, and they're always forgiving and loving of each other. Especially Dean forgiving Sam, who makes many a serious mistake considered by some hunters to be unforgivable. Overall, an extremely great entertainer, which is why the show is somewhat of a cult, with many fans heartbroken that this year, 2020, which happens to be the 15th season and last season, will see Sam and Dean finally go away. Coming to the second one in the series is a Blindspot. Now, Blindspot is a highly unusual TV series which centers on a woman who finds herself in Times Square in a huge bag, naked and covered in a series of cryptic tattoos, and who doesn't remember who she is and what her past life was. Sullivan Stapleton stars as FBI agent Kurt Weller, whose name is also tattooed on the body of our mystery woman, who is played by Jamie Alexander, who is referred to as Jane Doe in the series. Now, these tattoos turn out to be riddles which, once solved, turn out to be clues to solve crime. Now, however, as they progress further down the rabbit hole, solving one crime after another with the help of these tattoos, Jane Doe begins to regain bits and pieces of her memory of her past life to piece together the dark purpose behind it all. In the meantime, Jane Doe gains the confidence of the team in field trips, and it becomes clear that she's a very highly trained operative, probably special ops. But the source of her training and identity remain totally unknown. She also develops a great working relationship with Kurt Weller and his FBI team. Although it's an investigative series at heart, the real appeal is in the team bonding, with each of the characters' stories unfolding yet confluencing beautifully as the series progresses. Blindspot has only 5 seasons with a total of 100 episodes, but they're all extremely riveting. There isn't a dull moment in the entire series, with each episode leaving you wanting more. The third one in the list is Person of Interest. This is by far the best of all the series that I have seen in the Amazon Prime collection with respect to technology. But that's absolutely my personal view. If you are a technology enthusiast at the bare minimum, or better yet, if you're a programmer, then you would absolutely adore this show. After the Matrix trilogy, I have seen few sci-fi so well-researched and so futuristic. The show premiered in 2011, and at the time, I suspect the technology in the show could have been easily deemed too far-fetched with respect to the possibilities of AI. But today, 9 years on, this technology, specifically AI, has become more believable. You really have to appreciate the tremendous effort in researching and presenting such an a highly evolved view of what technology can accomplish. So the Person of Interest revolves about a highly talented computer scientist called Harold, played by Michael Emerson, and his brainchild, which is an unbelievably powerful AI with a personality called the Machine, and a skeletal team of vigilantes including John Reese, played by Jim Caviezel. The relationship between the Machine and the highly ethical computer scientist Harold is like a father and son or daughter relationship. With the help of this powerful AI, which can be used to process mountains of digital imprints, do surveillance on every internet-connected device like cameras all at the same time, searching out even the most untraceable coasts or criminals who are experts at hiding, would be a walk in the park for the Machine. Hence, it's used by Harold and his skeletal team of vigilantes to hunt down evil and dangerous elements in the country. Until, of course, it meets its dark rival called the Samaritan, another AI, although it is, dark. And then everything goes downturn from that point on. Overall, this show is superlatively better than all shows I've seen on Amazon Prime with respect to tech. Makes me wonder why it's so underrated. It's got 5 seasons and 103 episodes in total. Wow, if there's a worthier watch than this with respect to technology, do let me know in the comments. Although this show is recommended for technology enthusiasts, of course, this is also a philosophical treatise of sorts. The fourth one on the list is Hunters. Now, this is a very new TV series which was launched in early 2020, so it has just 1 season and 10 episodes. Based in New York, a troubled Al Pacino leads a group of Nazi hunters who are tracking down and killing escaped Nazi generals who have infiltrated the highest reaches of American society in the late 1970s. And of course, these villains are regrouping to resurrect the monstrous ideology of Nazism within America and create the Fourth Reich, or the Fourth Empire, with the Third Empire being, of course, that of Hitler, or the Third Reich as it was called then. The violence definitely bears Tarantino style, and the series is inspired by real Nazi hunters through the decades. But it's not meant to be a specific representation of any of them. Overall, it's a great watch if you're a history buff who loves stories with Holocaust survivors turned heroes with Nazis as the villains. And you have a thing for dark humor, of course. You can definitely relate real quick if you've ever seen Munich, played by Eric Bana. The punchlines and the core narrative are all on the same lines. Coming to the fifth and the final one, this one is called Suits, and this is meant to appeal to the lawyer in you. Yep, it's a legal show. For those who are interested in sophisticated, clever corporate law stories, this one truly is a gem. It has Gabriel Mott, a bigwig corporate lawyer, and Patrick J. Adams, who features as his hotshot associate. It's got serious drama with a lot of fun, and it's set in New York, focuses on a very successful law firm managed by Jessica Pearson, who has to manage somehow the talents of a control freak lawyer, played really well by Rick Hoffman, and a brilliant lawyer played by Gabriel. Sandwiched in between them sometimes is the lovable black sheep, Patrick J. Adams, who's the bright recruit who is really not a lawyer and does not even belong in the law firm. He was thrown out of college for trying to write exams for other students, for which he is paid, of course. But since he manages to impress the brilliant lawyer Harvey Specter, played by Gabriel, Harvey recruits him. Overall, Suits has great cinematography, superb storylines, great humor, flawless acting, and immensely entertaining. That concludes the 5 TV series or TV shows that I personally loved on Amazon Prime. Let me know in the comment section what you think and your suggestions, please. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.